So I remember a few months ago, YBA got an update where they changed the copyright of the game due to Shinobi Life 2 being taken down for copyright and having to be re-uploaded as Shindo Life. But when you really look into the copyright update, it really makes no sense at all. So before we get more into the video, why I think it was pointless and makes no sense at all, I'm going to preface it with this is completely unscripted, and I'm really just saying this off the top of my head based off of just ideas that I've been having and stuff that I have been thinking about the update. So with that disclaimer out the way, tell me if you disagree with me, tell me if you agree with me in the comments. It's welcome, and I guess let's go. It's probably the most baseless point, but I want to get it out of the way first, as it's more based on feelings, less to do with law and less to do with copyright. So, with YBA, I feel like one of the great things about it was the fact that it just felt satisfying to play. I remember, I used to main Crazy Diamond, right? I'd be getting into fights with people with Crazy Diamond and be really satisfying to kill. And all while you're fighting, I'd be fighting a Star Platinum, you hear the aura and you hear the door la la la, the stand cries, right? And it just sounds really cool, and it really makes the fight 10 times more enjoyable hearing the sound effects, because it adds a lot of life to it. You hear all these screams and stand cries and sound effects, and it's just a really intense fight in the game. And when you completely remove the sounds and you just have slapping sounds for punches, it really removes a lot of the feeling, and it really makes the game feel a lot more, lifeless. I feel like everybody can agree that the game was more enjoyable to play when there were sounds. Alright, so how about we get into the legal aspect of it now? It makes no sense with copyright. So, they removed the JoJo music, right? We all know that. That's why we're watching this fucking video, or why we're on this video, I don't know. But anyway, so they removed the JoJo music, right? But if you look up YBA soundtrack, on YouTube, there's a playlist, right, with all the songs. You will see that there is Main Abyss songs. I don't know what Main Abyss is, so I'm not really going to speak on that, and I don't really care to look into it, because there is already something else that is there that is another anime, which is ReZero. There is ReZero music in the game, which they still haven't been copyrighted, YBA, which really makes no sense. So, is JoJo copyrighted, but ReZero and Main Abyss isn't? Again, I don't know about Main Abyss. I heard it's some sort of movie. I heard about some movies, I saw in the video names that there were movies. So I assume it's a big thing that is also copyrighted, but still, the fact that they still even include a ReZero song in the main game soundtrack while removing all the JoJo songs really makes no sense, along with the fact that the fucking new music sucks. So it was pointless to remove the JoJo music, and not only was it pointless to remove the JoJo music because they have new copyrighted music, or they just have music from other pieces of media, the fucking new music sucks. I really don't see the point in changing the music. Alright, so I'm going to be backing up what I said in the last clip by just simply searching up YBA soundtrack. And here we already have multiple soundtrack videos. And as we can tell, that is music in game. That is music in game. I don't know what Main Abyss is, as I said in the last clip, but it has an official soundtrack. I saw something about a fucking movie in one of these videos, comments or titles, I don't really remember. But, it is music from another piece of media. Not only that, they did also have a ReZero song, which really makes no sense to me, as why would they have a ReZero song, another anime, to replace songs from the anime that the game is based off of? It really makes no sense if they're trying to avoid copyright. At the end of the day, aren't they still putting in new shit? Also, I forgot to mention this in the last recording, but you know how they changed Cars' name in that game to Cars, right? Number one, it's still basically the same name. It's just with a C. Cars is named after the band The Cars. So technically, wouldn't they still be running into copyright with that name of Cars? Because that's the fucking band name. Like, they really put no thought into the update because it just wouldn't have been copyrighted anyway if they did or did not change the names. So, that's just another thing to add on why changing the names was fucking pointless. Now, my next point is pretty similar to the music point, but it includes just keeping some fucking sounds while removing others. So, they removed all the stand cries and that shit, like sound effects, right, and voice lines. And they kept the voice lines Game Pass, which is also kind of fucking puzzling, as when they just want to refund the voice lines Game Pass or something like that, because they're still keeping in voice lines from JoJo. Like, they literally just kept voice lines. They removed some of the text from them and they changed the names, but they're still voice lines. Like, no matter what, they're still voice lines. But no, don't mind that. Let's just not mention that, even though I already did. But let's not care about it. My main point is they kept certain sound effects from JoJo and YBA. So, first off, they kept the hands erasure noise. They also kept Gold Experience's life punch noise. They also kept the time stop sound effect, which really makes no sense since they removed stand cries and voice lines and all these sounds, but they kept a very noticeable big sounds. Where I think if you're trying to like avoid copyright, you'd want to remove all the sounds, right? But number one, it was never even necessary to try and avoid copyright like this because it would never be copyrighted. We already know that. We already know it would not be copyrighted because it probably would have been copyrighted by that time because, JoJo Roblox games have been on the front page of Roblox. I feel like that would have been taken into notice, since, copyright, right? But they still haven't been taken down. But it's also the fact it's just, why remove some sounds and keep some? Like, I'm glad that they kept some sounds, right? But it really makes no sense to remove the rest, Like, at that point, shouldn't you just keep all of them? So, yeah, they did keep the time stop sound, even though it's from the JoJo anime. Alright, I'm recording. Shoot the gun. Alright, and that is the exact same sound effect used in the anime. Alright, use the moves on me. That is also the zipping sound used in the anime. There's also more sound effects that were just kept in game, like Magician's Red summon sound / stand cry, along with its firing sounds, along with Cream's sounds too. I just felt like I should add that on, after showing those sound effects and, that they are from the anime. But at the end of the day, like, I made this video because I want the sounds back in game, like all the main sounds, because it really makes no sense why they were removed if you're just going to keep all these sounds and the game still isn't copyright removed. It's been months and it's really just a pointless update.